always forget that. Thanks, Nip. I'll check those out.
Oh my
What are you
goodness.
laughing at?
I'm just nothing. I'm not laughing at anything right now. What are you talking about? What do you mean I'm not laughing?
You were giggling, chuckling.
I can't giggle?
No, it's fine. I giggle all the time, so I can't judge. Half the things that come out of my mouth is just some sort of giggle or weird sound. So,
man. All right.
You start us off when it's game time. Yeah, I'm in it.
All right. One second. Ready? I'm gonna hit record here. I'm gonna hit record here in just a second. You know.
Sweet.
I stroke the beard for a second. Get it in place.
Record not live, huh?
Huh? What?
I gotta tame mine, man.
You gotta tame
a minute.
yours? Oh, I did mine recently. So, all right, here we go.
Good for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week of What the Wednesday with myself, the mic guy Chris, and my co-host here, Dusty, the Game Hopper. Dusty, interesting week this week. Got some cool topics. But before we get rolling into anything, let's figure out how's it going. How are we doing this week? What's going on?
We're figuring out?
Yeah, that's what we're figuring out.
Figure that out. I'm always doing great, man. Life can be trying to kick me down, but you know what? I'm always going to triumph. And I'm always going to
make sure. You got to make sure you're having a good time. You got to make sure everything is in a good place before you try to tell somebody else.
Yeah, it's one of those those silly classic things. Like you always got to be able to find the light even in the darkest of situations. And I feel like I've excelled at that at this point in my life. So I'm doing fantastic. And there's nothing bad that would try to put it down at this point. So playing a lot of video games and living life, man.
Yeah.
You know,
so
what else can a guy ask for?
So I have to ask because it's been going on 9 months. 9 months since we've been doing this.
Woo! Has it been that long?
Yeah. Yeah. At least. I mean, I've counted we're on episode 21, but I know we did a whole bunch of,
we can drink now.
Yeah. We did a whole bunch in some point there where, we weren't really, I totally screwed up the episode numbers, but officially categorized like 21 episodes or something. Awesome. And I've noticed over several variations of the podcast, you've worn this shirt that I'm looking at.
Oh, I love this one, man.
And I'm looking at it. And for those who aren't watching right now and those who are listening, it's Donald's Destroyers. What is this shirt? It's like it's like a hockey jersey, right?
It's a Disney hockey jersey.
A Disney?
These were like a limited run thing that apparently I had the privilege of getting when I was, I don't know, like 20, so a long time ago. Every time I walk through the parks with this thing, people are always like, "Oh my God, where did you get that?" I had some guy offer me $1,000 to take it off my back and give it to him.
No way.
So like, this is obviously dude. Disney people get nuts over merchandise that you can't find anymore. So yeah, I don't know. It's just like a pride and joy for me now, and it's super comfortable. I'm a big man. It's comfy. It fits. So I like to rock it on stream.
That's amazing.
I feel like it pops. It's got a lot going on.
It's amazing.
And then also too, like it's got a D on the shoulder, which is fitting for me too. And Donald's my favorite Disney character. It all kind of spins itself together. So was it
any? The Mighty Ducks have no relation to Disney, do they? That's a Universal film, isn't it?
Correct, but the Disney company, I believe they own the Mighty Ducks.
The actual
sports teams.
The actual Anaheim. The actual Anaheim Ducks.
I might be wrong, but don't quote me on it. But I know they own sports teams, and I think the Ducks are one of them. In some way or another,
some subsidiary of somebody.
In every, they have too many cookie jars lined up. So,
gotcha.
But yeah. So
that's good.
And I live down by Disney, man. You got to rep the pride.
You got to do it every once in a while. Every once in a while, we took the kids to California 2 years ago.
Oh,
and
Disneyland.
We did California Adventure Park.
Shame.
But yeah, we took the kids to California and we were there to visit family, whatnot. But it was a fun experience. So we don't do Disney often enough, even though we live 30 minutes from it. We don't do Disney often enough, so we made a big deal about it. Everybody got T-shirts, everybody got the whole shebang. Right? We stayed at the hotel
family
right
T-shirts
across. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. You're right. You got to rep. I tell you what, though.
Yeah.
Disneyland people.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother world than Disney World people. At least the people that I know. Yeah. To me, the Disney World people are like you said, they're merchandise, right? The Disney.
Are you talking cast members and stuff? we're talking about?
No. I'm talking about like
the people,
the guests,
the people
the
that
guests.
go. Yeah. Okay.
Man, the people in Disneyland, they were talking about like, oh, if you go in here and you ask for this, you get this little secret room, and you do this and you do this, and they're like talking about like all this like crazy stuff that like, you know, a guy like me who's just going to the park for a day has no idea. But they're like, yeah, I go to the park, you know, like 4 times a week, and we do this and this and this. I'm like, you guys this is nuts. It's too much going on right now.
Oh yeah, there's like a secret obsessed Disney society. I forget, they're like, it's D32 or something like that is the name of like some exclusive membership group that you can become a part of. Those are like the true Disney fanatics, and they know all the secrets. I know a lot myself, working there for so long, but we can pick my brain on that another time.
Yeah. So interesting things going on. You know, 2021's rolling around. There's not a whole lot.
Yeah, getting into it.
There's not a whole lot right now in big tech news as far as things that are changing, right? We had 3060 launch was last week or 2 weeks ago.
Still can't find graphics cards.
We all knew that was happening, right? Manufacturers are still struggling to keep up with demand. Scalpers are still doing their thing, so there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. I did read on
that, that the secondhand scalpers have sold, I think what I read, over 55,000 RTX 30 series cards, which that's just an insane number. How many people are getting their hands on it to resell, and then also how many people are buying it. The whole way to get one.
The whole situation is really, really weird when you're talking about the setup there with the scalpers being able to buy hundreds of cards, right? Even if they're doing it, you know, like because a distributor, right? They can only do their best. They can only do you know, captchas or whatever to try to limit it one per card or whatever. But if people got sophisticated enough bots, or you know, I've got a buddy of mine who writes code for a living, and he gets around captcha stuff all like he literally does macros on screens, you know, so it just basically repeats the steps on the screen, so it doesn't really care.
No, not at all.
So it's interesting, you know, as we've dealt with this, and it's just entirely different with the way the economy for tech gear has changed since 2018, right?
Very much so.
You know, 19 and 20 have really dramatically changed the tech economy and how it operates, how everything goes. It's just been such a transition, and I don't see it changing. These scalpers have made enough money.
No, yeah.
I see it staying until it goes to a situation like we go back to box stores.
Yeah.
Then I don't see it changing.
Yeah, right, when they actually have to physically show up and, you know, get a certain amount, which they do, but at the same time, too, the companies are just shipping out the ones they have to online orders because, you know, that's less work on their part than to stock them, get people to show up. And I'm with you, though. I don't think this generation of graphics cards will ever just be available on the ready, pretty much almost till they're ready to release another one, and hopefully they just have a lot more made this time.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll ever catch up.
I guess it was what they keep saying, it was a die issue or something like that keeps holding them back from mass producing. But
sure,
you have to know. That's my thought too. Is I was like, sure, but at the same time, you have to know, like, you've always had this amount of demand. What are we doing? Like, why aren't we thinking about not why aren't we thinking about this, but there's never been a generation of cards where there's been a surplus of them at launch. Never.
No,
so build as many as you can build and never stop. And then, you know, I've worked in manufacturing in the past, or not in, but with manufacturing in the past. And there's so many times I've gone into engineering meetings and they're like, yeah, we've got this part on the design and it's already obsolete, but we're going to go with it anyways. We're just going to buy up all the life of it now, and in 6 months we'll change the design. And I'm like, why? It's already obsolete today. Just change it to whatever you need to change it to. You can get it. It's I don't understand it at all. But that's I don't know. I'm really interested because I'm still running the 1080 Ti for gaming, and I don't have any issues. You know, playing 1080p gaming, I don't have any issues. But
gotcha.
Yeah, but you know, if I were to upgrade, you want to go 30 series. You want to go like latest and greatest, so that way you don't have to buy another one in 2-3 years, right?
Yeah, especially value to performance right now, you're not going to beat it. Again, if you can find it retail, which I'd really like to know. I feel like there's probably more sold secondhand than actually retail. Like, what percentage was purchased from the retailer that ended up in somebody's hands that actually put it in a computer, not resold? But it is crazy to me.
You know what I foresee. You know what I foresee potentially happening. They're gonna put like some kind of what do you call that? Gosh, the word is eluding me. But they're gonna put some kind of restriction on it to where it can only be activated.
A limiter or something?
Like you can only activate the card one time, so it's no longer usable secondhand or something.
Could you imagine?
What do they call that? Like, you got to have a key and it's only activated one time. What do they call? The word is eluding me right now. They do it for music, right? Where like once your subscription expires, it's eluding me. It's gonna drive me insane for the next 45 minutes as we're talking here. But
you'll just yell it out at some point.
I will. It'll pop in my brain and I'll scream it. Don't worry.
Perfect. I look forward to it.
So to jump into some topics of discussion this week. Again, not a lot of tech news, so we take to the Reddit and we go look around Twitch and we go to try to find some things. What is popular? What is hot in streamer culture today? What is going on? And one of the things that did pop out to me was somebody had written a post about a new feature that they identified on Twitch in regards to embedded streams.
We're calling it a feature?
Yeah, it's going to be a feature. It's going to be a feature. That's what we're going to call it.
Brand new. You're welcome.
It's something that's happening to embedded streams. So for those that don't know, you have the option to embed your stream from Twitch onto another website, right? You can't restream it to another website live, but you have the option to embed it so that way you double, triple, you have the potential to increase your viewership if you have a high traffic site somewhere else. This is a common practice for companies that have a lot of traffic to the website. Logitech does it. I think Logitech does it for their live streams. They put them on their website. Things like that, where like gaming studios and things like that have a website that generates a lot of traffic already. They embed the stream. It generates viewers automatically. But
nice. Helps.
It's a great feature, great way to boost viewership, things like that. But Twitch has decided to unannounce and implement a feature that now redirects you to, in the middle of the stream or in the middle of the embed. It's after, I think the individual that caught it said it was like after about 30 seconds of watching the embed, a pop-up comes up in the middle of the screen that says, get the full experience by watching this on Twitch.
I love the way they word that.
Get the full experience. Yeah.
The whole shebang.
Now, what just out of the gate, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, it's interesting. I have to actually check because I know I don't get a lot of traffic on it, but my website, quote unquote, I have my Twitch stream embedded on there as well. And it's interesting. I understand a little bit. Like, obviously for us, the content creator, getting people to our channel lets them see our panels with links, so it can lead to them finding our YouTube and our other socials as well. I know I've seen some websites that the embed just isn't great for some reason, but I don't know, man. It seems like Twitch trying to grab you, because I'm sure it brings you over and probably reloads, gets you another ad, whatever it may be, if you're coming in from another website. And it seems like they're just trying to grab revenue again in the wrong ways. When we've talked about a lot of ways in the past where they could be getting revenue and they're not, like in the VODs and stuff like that. So it's just, and like you said, if Twitch is calling it a feature, like this is what they're working on to better the content creator experience. It's just laughable.
It's interesting because I was kind of in the same, like when I first heard about this, I was like, wow, I can't believe they're doing this. This is super low because they're just trying to draw traffic away from another site to bring it to theirs. And I thought about it and I was like, well, it kind of, but this could be beneficial. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here and say, why would they do this? Why would they implement this? And other than selfish reasons to draw in their own revenue, boost their own numbers, and maybe I'd have to do the math, or I'd have to ask out, see if somebody has some sort of metrics on the number of viewers that come from embedded streams. I don't know what that viewership looks like.
Yeah.
Right? I have no idea. I don't watch embedded streams very often. Like, the only time I watch an embedded stream is if I'm going to donate to somebody. So I go to, like, your Streamlabs page, right? If I go to their Streamlabs page to make a donation and the embed is playing there, I might sit there for an additional minute or two, but I'm going to go back to Twitch eventually, right? Like, that's, I'm already there, so I don't do it that often, but I could really see the concept, like we mentioned before, like Logitech, who's the League of Legends, or any of these guys that are running like big embedded streams that have not hundreds of thousands, but just thousands of viewers in general. Like, anybody that's running a big stream with thousands of viewers that's doing it embedded, the opportunity to bring those people to Twitch and then find other streams, right? Like, if you're going to something for a game, because you heard that they're hosting a tournament, so you go to their website to watch the tournament or something, you're trying to get information on the tournament, then you'll watch the embed there, right? Overwatch League. Overwatch League is a great example to me. That's the way I should mention that. With Overwatch League, they embed the league streams on their website, and I typically always watch them on the league website. I don't deal with the chat. When you're watching Overwatch League, you've got 50,000 people watching. Chat is just flooding, and it's ridiculous. It's not moderated. It's garbage. Like, chat is just garbage at that point. I'm watching the game. I'm watching the announcers, right, or the event, right?
For sure.
And so, but drawing, there's a lot of people who maybe play Overwatch, but they don't stream. So by bringing that up and having that pop-up happen, it could draw more people to the website, thus giving the ability for them to find other content creators in the future that do stream the game. I don't know. I haven't seen. I was looking on Solinome, trying to see, maybe this was a viewer grab. Maybe Twitch has seen a drop in total viewership. I didn't see it. I didn't see anything that was dramatic or problematic, I should say. If there is a drop a little bit here or there, month over month, that's going to be natural. You're not always going to be climbing, but you're going to have your peaks and valleys. But I didn't see anything that was like consistent dropping viewership to require to draw something like this, right? And even still, I guess this wouldn't change viewership. It would change like direct traffic, maybe carryover viewers, something like that. I don't really know how you would categorize that, because a viewer is a viewer, right? It doesn't matter if they're embedded or not. But
so you do actually, I guess it does tell us in our analytics if something's coming from another, because I have actually 4% of my viewership comes from embeds.
Oh, really?
Which is interesting.
I've never even looked at that number.
3% is actually from my website. Go figure. It works. And then apparently streamelements.com. I don't know what that's bringing a 1% viewership from, but who knows? I'm going to have to check that out at some point. But so it does tell us. So I guess there's got to be a way that we can look it up as like an overall statistic. And I'm not in any way, shape, or form a big streamer. So it probably accounts for a lot more people than we realize. Yeah, even if you just say a flat like 1% across the board, that's a huge number of people as far as Twitch is concerned.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's a lot of potential. That's a lot of potential viewers that they could spread across other channels, right?
Yeah.
Or potentially keep on the platform once that content creator's gone. Somebody. I can't. The name's going to elude me, but somebody went and created their own streaming service for themselves. Do you remember that? Do you remember that story? It was like 3 to 6 months ago. I'm going to look it up and I'm going to make a comment of it. I'm going to write it out in Discord or something like that. But somebody had created an entire streaming service for themselves. So it was their own website, their own video hosting, their own bandwidth, their own viewership, right? They basically created and they were the sole content creator on that site, right? And Twitch is, I think, it was, thousands of viewers, right, to support this whole venture. I mean, they were basically saying, I'm done with Twitch, I'm going to go on my own, and it sustained itself. So
this float plane like platform, but I think he's done that. He's been doing that for a while. I honestly haven't dove fully into what that is all about, but it is a like content creator for content creator type scenario. And I know some YouTube channels that have switched away to like their own specific, come to our website, subscribe to us to get the content.
Exactly.
Like that,
exactly. That's what
which
he basically
smart,
said.
you know?
He basically said that when I was watching it before, he basically said that it's cheaper for him to do this than it was for what he was paying for all the other stuff. You know, he can basically charge his general rates and all that kind of stuff for all of his, and you subscribe to his content, and he can host all of his videos there. He can host and everything everything drove traffic to his website, and it was just tons of traffic. I really need to find the content creator. When I find it, I'll post it. I'll post it in Discord and figure that out.
We talked about too. I was talking about eyes on the content, and so like, sure, this full experience thing, it definitely is some weird gimmicky way about doing it. Again, it's probably not the best move to try to get more people on a platform or other ways for Twitch to pull extra revenue or what it is they're trying to do. But at the same time, I'm not going to knock it because for sure, if I have, 2 or 3 people regularly watching from another website and I can get them on the Twitch platform where they can see other ways to follow me or support things like that, I'd rather have that. So
yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not against it. It's just, it just seems silly,
Again, like we've said in the past, for a small content creator, a viewer is a viewer, and if you can find ways to generate more exposure, and retain that exposure, like retain the viewers once they're exposed to you, you need to retain them. Every one viewer is another viewer that comes back, right? I mean, it's just it's a gradual increase over time, right? And it works.
Yeah. But definitely an interesting approach. I love full experience.
The wording there just seemed really weird. If you want the full experience, right? Like, I'm just like, I don't know about this. I mean, it would be like, hey, come join chat, or hey, well, I guess they can embed chat and things too. So you're also looking at it like that. Like, I don't know how much of the embed is embedded, if it's just video, if it's chat, if it's whatever, right? So I guess it's more along the lines of the full experience would be the Twitch experience, because if you can still see chat, I don't know. That's kind of interesting. I don't know.
Full experience, and I just hear that like Dolby surround sound, like that would it's a long tone. The full experience, like IMAX. Let's get it.
Well, and I think Twitch, right? They're trying to make it sound like it's better to be there, but is there any gain? There was a talk in the past, and I haven't seen it implemented. Yet, but there was talks in the past about Twitch was going to set anybody who was running an ad blocker to 480p automatically. Like, you weren't allowed to watch anything in 720 or 1080. If you had an ad blocker on, you were getting 480p all the time. Didn't matter. And if it's something like that where they reduce the quality of embedded streams intentionally, then they have something to claim to say, come and get the full experience, right? Because, hey, you only get this amount. If you want it to be high def, you go here and get it this way, right? And it's still free, right? And they still find a way to draw you in, right? I think that's what they should be going for. I don't necessarily agree with reducing the quality on embedded, but
for sure,
it's their platform, right? It's their platform. I mean,
they have the right to, they allow people to embed, so that's a good thing at least. But if they want to do it and try to draw traffic in, I'm not going to sit here and complain. So, interesting tactic.
Yeah. Another thing that happened last week. Did you see the tweet that I shared about the Twitch Awards?
Oh yeah. Very. It seemed like such I don't know. It seems like such a meme thing in general.
It does. It does. So there's gotta be. You have to. Okay, for those of you who may not be aware, last week, was it last Monday? It was last weekend. It was like
recognition awards, participation awards, something like that.
Something like that. It was like the Twitch Awards of 2020. The Twitch Awards of 2020. I don't know what they were officially called. But for anybody who streams on Twitch, you will know the account handle Electrical Longboard. He's probably in Hopper's chat right now. because
Probably.
Electrical Longboard is the biggest bot on Twitch. Everybody knows this bot. It's the best bot ever. It's a scroller. It's a scrubber that manages chat messages. It checks viewership. It's basically a bot that helps drive analytics and statistics for other websites, and it connects to basically everybody's chat via IRC or other methods. And the Twitch Awards happened last week, and they gave Electrical Longboard the #1 award for most raids attended.
Woo! Way to go, AI.
I was like, and just like you said, when they announced this, apparently, like, I've only got that like 15-20 second clip of the guy being like, really, like of the meme moment. But apparently, chat, when this happened, because they did these awards live.
Yeah.
Chat just absolutely exploded on them. Just absolutely was like, what is going on here? This is a joke, and chat just like railroaded them. And the two, I feel terrible for the two girls that were doing the announcements, right? For doing the awards or whatever. I was like, I feel so bad for you two because you're not the ones who picked these people, right? You're just the ones being signed up to say it. You're probably sitting behind the camera, like you're probably sitting in front of the camera, like, I can't believe I got to read this name right now.
They were like applauding and getting excited though, because they didn't know. Like, that's the unfortunate part too. Like, they weren't aware that they were congratulating a bot as the time was going on. Oh,
but that to me is a clear, right? That to me is a clear
disconnect, right?
Yeah, a clear disconnect or a clear situation where somebody in Twitch is unaware of what's going on. Like, somebody at Twitch, or everybody at Twitch, right? You can't tell me that one person didn't look at that and stand up and say, excuse me, this is it takes me back to the other meme. Takes me back to the other meme of the one guy in the boardroom, and he says like the smart answer, and everybody then they throw him out the window. I don't know what that meme is, but that it takes me back to that, where it's like everybody who knew anything about this was just like, we're gonna let it go because it's gonna be so funny when they actually announce it, and people are getting all excited about it, and it's gonna be this great thing, and then all of a sudden it goes off, and people are just railroading them. It's great when your own community, your own viewers make you feel bad about something that you did, right?
Right. I wonder if secretly Twitch behind the scenes is doing all this on purpose, to try to draw this like adverse, almost, it's not like horrible publicity, but like making themselves look dumb for the sake of actually being really in the background,
I mean, you kind of have a point there, right? We always make the statement, and we always say impressions are impressions, views are views, drama draws content. Right? So there's a reason Road Rules, not that show's on the air anymore. There's a reason Big Brother's still on TV. I was aging myself there. I apologize. There's a reason Big Brother. There's a reason Big Brother's still on TV, right? There's a reason Survivor's still on TV. There's a reason these shows still exist. Drama draws content. And so maybe they did this for the intention of just making themselves look silly.
Right? And then now next year, everybody's going to show up and watch the Twitch Participation Awards because it's going to be like, man, I want to be there when something silly happens again.
I want to be the guy that, well, there you go. I want to be the guy that clips it. I want to be the guy that gets the tweet out. Yeah. I want to be the guy that goes viral over making fun of it. There is secret brilliance in there. I don't think that's what they're doing, honestly. But you think that's giving them too much credit?
The community, but yeah. I think we'd see a lot of different things happening as far as what they're working on if they were actually like invested in connected with the community that exists on their platform.
It's got to be hard. It's got to be hard because we say that, and I think I'm being unfair. The intention is that we say that. I'm saying that a lot. I apologize. I'm trying to speak before my sentence is finished in my brain. I apologize.
Get in there.
The intention of what we say is that they're not connected with their community, but who knows? Like we just said, they know that viewers draw off of content or drama, right? Viewers get content off of drama. Live stream fails is one of the biggest Twitch Reddit channels for a reason, right? Making fun of people is half the game on Twitch. And maybe that's the community that they're connecting to in these situations. They need to make those opportunities so they have, like, if you were to almost call them sects, right? SECTS, sects. Sects.
I gotcha.
On Twitch, right? You have these different groups on Twitch, right? You have your drama people, you have your and no offense to this, but you have your Me Too people, right? Like, you have the people that are standing up for people, that are defending people, that are really going after the social issues that exist on Twitch. Yeah. You have your people that are just here to play games. You have your people that are trying to be educated. You have your people that are, you have these different groups on Twitch that exist, and they have to find ways as an organization to kind of connect with all of them, right? In some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we're the ones that are disconnected with the Twitch community as a whole. We talk about it a little bit sometimes, how we're kind of shocked, at things that happen on the platform and stuff like that. So
there are a lot of things. Yeah, there are a lot of things that I think happen on the platform, right? That we don't necessarily agree with, and there's a lot of things that go viral that I look at it and I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. And maybe you're right. Being disconnected as a community could be a possibility. I don't know. Or being disconnected from the community. But again, that's not, maybe that's not our community, right? The communities exist. And I'm not trying to say, the communities exist in different ways.
Yeah. We all have our own, and we're all part of a bigger one. But, we definitely, not saying allegiances lie one place or another, but just because we're on the platform doesn't mean we agree with everybody that's on the platform,
Right. So my next topic, or my next question to you, and this was, again, I grabbed three off of Reddit earlier today. We covered the first one. Second one here is, what do you stream when you don't know what to play? Right. And I have a very, I think not a unique perspective. I don't want to say I have a unique perspective, because I don't think it's that, but like, what would be your, if somebody were to come and say to you, like, I have no idea, like, I want to be a streamer, I want to be a content creator, I enjoy doing it, but I don't know what to play, I don't know what to do. How do you answer that? What are you thinking?
I mean, you got to ask some questions first, because obviously on Twitch there's lots of different types of streamers. You have your just chatting, which they're not playing a game, they're just there to kind of converse and hang out and answer questions, whatever it may be. And even the just chatting has very broad spectrum, with being educational or entertaining or whatever it may be. Artists is a good one if they have any type of talent in that sense. That's an easy thing to stream when you don't know what to stream. Just kind of stream what you'd be doing anyways. Put a camera on it. And gaming is tough. If you don't have a game that you're really like in love with at the time, it's hard to just pick something to play and have the experience come off as a good time to a viewer. And I don't know what I say to somebody who maybe don't stream games. If you don't have something you're really into, maybe just try just chatting and get some people in there, and then see what kind of community you have growing around that. And if they like a certain type of game, try it out, or wait for the right one. I don't know if there's any right answer to, if you don't know what to stream, what do you stream? Because you can't just tell somebody stream this and it'll work, I don't know. I want to hear your answer, and then I'll bounce off it a little bit.
It's just interesting, because right off of this topic on Twitch, I was listening to the Gaming Careers podcast earlier today. And before I even saw this post, and they made a statement that just chatting needs to be a part of your content going into 2021. And that's simply because the average viewer rate for just chatting is higher than any other channel ever on the platform, right? It's consistently higher. Like the average viewer rate, right, is consistently higher across the day, whereas other games will shift peaks, and they'll have peaks and troughs, peaks and valleys. There you go, peaks and valleys between different days or different time cycles, whereas just chatting seems to really just stay steady all the time, right? It's typically always in the top 3, top 4 categories on Twitch, many times in the top, right? And
a lot of people that do just chatting.
There's a ton of people that do it. And it's one of those that if you just get, it's just like every other big category. If you just get 10, right, you have more opportunity to be seen, you have more opportunity to be heard, you have more opportunity to be found, right? And it's just something that people want to feel connected. Streaming has come so far. Streaming has changed so much since the Ninja days and the early days of Tim, long-haired Tim, and, you know, before Lupo had his kids, right? Like those guys today have existed because they came in that era. Well, coming in today, that's not the way you grow. I mean, you can, right? It's not that you can't. And just like you said, it's not like there's one method that fits for everybody, but viewers want to feel connected. Viewers want to feel engaged with you, right? The culture has changed so much that they want to be a part of what you're doing.
Yeah, and especially what the pandemic's been pushing as far as not having that like daily human-to-human connection all the time because of the social distancing and stuff. It's now nice to hop online and, you know, join part of this small streamers chat where they're just hanging out there, you know, talking about whatever, and you can become part of that.
Right. So I think if you don't have something, well, regardless, even if you don't have something specific, try just chatting, right? Like if you have 4 to 5 viewers that are consistent, get to know them, spend time talking to them. If they're going to hang out with you when you're talking, that's even better. Like you don't have to play a game and you get to be focused on them, right? The chances of you getting raided are actually not that bad. I think I've had more raids in the just chatting category than I have in any other category that I've been a part of.
Nice.
And you get to do more. You get to be more of yourself, I want to say, versus having to focus on the game, get amped up, get raged, get all these other kind of things like that. You get to be mellow. You get to do what you want to do. You know, if you want to do, and you don't have to be a drama just chatting streamer. You don't have to, like, I do silly hats, right? Because that's what people like. You don't have to do that. You could do whatever you want. There's a lot of people who are successful in many different ways in just chatting, and you don't have to be good at anything. Right? That just sounds weird, but you don't have to be good at anything. You just have to be able to talk to people.
Can you make words with your mouth? Do you not have any talents? Try just chatting. I'm kidding, by the way, when I say that, but no, you're right though. If you're not sure what to stream, but you want to stream, I think you're right that it's just turn on a camera and just interact with the people that come by. And if anything, it'll make you more comfortable doing this. It'll get you used to chatting. Get used to talking, watching chat, things like that, and like you said, get to know the people who are there, and maybe that can lead to something else down the road. Yeah,
another thing I would always say is don't be afraid to try something new, right?
Yeah.
Albeit a game, albeit a a category. If you want to try drawing for an entire stream, that would be amazing if I did an art stream, wouldn't it? I could just paint. And like it would be so bad. But hey, maybe I'll do that one day. I'm gonna have a painting stream or something where I could like make a really cool thing. I don't know. Anyway,
we should have the actually artistic people that are in our communities teach us to be artistic.
There you go. Have
someone to be artistic, but you can help draw out the inner artist inside of us.
Have a Discord stream with somebody you know that is a good artist and have them teach you things, like say things. So, I mean, like there's plenty of ways to find ways to be engaging with your community. There's plenty of ways to do something different that allows you to be an enjoyable person that people will enjoy watching. Right? I've repeated that word, but that needed to be said there.
I got it. Yeah. Yeah, just chatting. If you don't know what to stream,
easy enough.
It's better. I think that's better than playing a game that you don't like, or something that might be a dead category or whatever it may be. Just chatting has enough people around that I'm not guaranteeing you viewership, but somebody will pop in at some point.
Somebody will see your thumbnail if it looks good enough. Somebody will see your thumbnail and they'll enjoy. Make it enjoyable for them. We raided out with that guy last night. I already forgot his name. The old man gaming was his hashtag, but we raided out. I raided out with you, or you raided him, and I was in chat. There you go. That's the way I'm going to say that. And his engagement with his community was absolutely amazing. I think we I watched him for about an hour after, and I think he played like 15 minutes of No Man's Sky because he was doing so many different things. Just talking about cameras, showing us different things that were going on in his channel, all of his different scenes, talking about, showing the clips and almost getting him banned, all this other kind of stuff, right? But
it's a good time. For sure.
But he made it very enjoyable for the community, where you rated him specifically for the game that he was playing, but
correct. Yep.
It was enjoyable to be there even though he wasn't playing the game. He made other ways to enjoy the content with those people.
Yep. No, it's not always about the game that's being played.
It shouldn't ever be about the game you play, but it shouldn't mainly be about the game.
Yeah.
All right.
So that one.
So last thing for tonight, and I think this will carry over for the rest of the podcast. Well, since it is the last thing, I will make it.
Yes, it will.
The biggest topic that I saw, and we probably should have given ourselves a little more time on this. We might carry over a little bit here. What are the ethics of goals and giveaways on Twitch? So there was actually a very, very lengthy article written on this about somebody who streams themselves and actively moderates for a few channels, and they themselves don't necessarily think it's right per se. Not that it's not right, but that it's the right type of engagement to put out goals or giveaways based on engagement. So pushing a little more. They were specifically talking about, like, if we get 1,000 followers, I will do this. If we get 100 subscribers, I will do this. Right? I've seen those.
Away at 100 viewers in chat, things like that.
Right. I've seen those happen, and we both know they happen all the time. Right? They happen all the time, and it's okay. Right? It's okay.
I love the way that okay sounded coming out of your
Yeah, I mean
okay.
I mean, but like you're saying, from an ethical perspective, we've had some discussions on our individual thoughts about giveaways in the past. Yep. But like, where would you go with this? What would you say from a perspective like?
So, I mean, I actually was reading this post on the Reddit myself when you messaged me the link to the post, which I thought was funny, and I actually wrote a response. I'm not going to go and pull it up, but I can pretty much summarize what I was talking about, where so obviously we've talked about giveaways and stuff before. Our personal opinions on it is we like to use giveaways as a way to give back to the community, not to try to create the community. I think ethically that's the right way to approach it. I'm not saying that if you're doing it one way or another, you're doing it wrong, because obviously we exist in this internet space where, a lot of money is made doing unethical things, or whatever you want to call it, and what I said was that as long as people keep showing up for these people doing these giveaways because they're looking for something free, so they're going to click that follow, they're going to sit there and have that screen up on their window while they're playing a game or doing something else. It's not discouraging these people from continuing to use this method to try to grow. Sure, I don't think that they're going to have the same type of growth as somebody doing it organically, where somebody's actually, using their personality or their entertainment or their gaming skills or their artist skills, whatever it may be, to get follows and keep entertained viewers. Because we know the moment this person has a title on their stream that's not a giveaway, they're not going to have the same 100 people come back, because those 100 people are looking for free stuff. But, if people show up and reward them for this tactic, why would they stop doing it?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happens, is that you see that not more often than not, but you see that people will give away something they think is free in exchange for something that's monetary. Right? Yeah. I mean, like a follow is free because it has no monetary value, but it has value, right? Like, it has the ability to draw you back to a content creator again. A subscription is obviously monetary value, but a view, it doesn't have monetary value. It doesn't have monetary value in itself, but it does allow that content creator to grow higher up on a ladder. So using it to my instance, like you said, using giveaways to support or benefit the community that's already supporting you is really, really good thing. If you want to do a 100 subscriber giveaway, that's amazing. Do it. Don't tell anybody about it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, don't be like, hey guys, when we get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to give away a Corsair keyboard. Does Corsair make keyboards? I'm sure they do.
Yes,
I'm going to give away a Corsair keyboard, right? And, you know, I'm going to make something up, right? Like, but don't make it that, right? Make it, hey guys, thank you so much for the amazing content, or thank you so much for the amazing support that you guys have been able to provide me. Because of the revenue generated last month, I am now able to host a giveaway to all of my current subscribers, right? Like, make it something that seems like it's not that it's an afterthought, but it's not trying to push for more.
Yeah.
Because as long as you're saying, I've been into a few streams where it's been like, hey, when we get to 100 subs, only subscribers get this, right? Or something like everybody's going to get one of these or some, and it's something so minimal. Like there's no monetary value to it that, but it's something that's,
give away a mouse pad at 250 subscribers. It's like, those don't really balance out. I think for me, another thing that will deter me, because obviously I'm not hard set against. So again, personally, I don't like the idea of putting up sub goals and stuff like that. That's just not me. I'm not saying that people who do it are bad people or doing it wrong. I think it's silly if you have, like, you know, say you have 100 sub goal and you put it in your title, but you're currently at 5 and you're saying a giveaway. It's different to me if you have 95 of that 100 and you put that in your title. I'm more okay with the 95 than the 5. You're reaching for something that's like way out when you say a 5 of 100 for a sub goal, and I'll do a giveaway for something. So I think for me, it's just being realistic about it that makes it more okay in my book. And again, they work, so it's not that people are going to stop doing it. Like, I'm sure if me or you put it up at some point too, we could get a little bit of traction from it. Not that I ever would, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do the right way and the wrong way, if that makes any sense, as I try to make it as convoluted as possible.
Yeah, it's really a
right. It's like a Pandora's box.
It is a Pandora's box because again, if people are going to come and support you with it, you know, take every advantage you can. We've talked about it in the past that people will continue to berate. People will continue to berate these people and say, "Oh, you're doing it wrong." But hey, they're getting numbers, right? Like something is happening that's working for them. Why are you going to tell them it's wrong? You know, it's like the shady car salesman that he's still getting sales, right? He's not selling. He's not selling anything you don't know about. It's not like he's being shady about the sale. He's just possibly doing things that generate the sale in the wrong way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, because like speaking of the shady car dealer tactics, you know, where everybody gets a mailer where there's like, you know, chance to win $500 for coming down and walking in the door and handing them the mailer. What they're doing is getting people in the door. They know not everybody's going to come and buy a car, but if they have 1,000 people show up and they sell 10 cars, they're doing the job for the day. So I can see it from that standpoint where, sure, I know I'm getting a lot of people who just want something free coming by. And, you know, not all of them are going to stick around. But if I'm streaming and I'm on top of my game and I'm really delivering the content that day, you may get some heads to turn and say, hey, you know what? This guy's actually pretty cool. I'm going to stick around and I'm going to come back and things like that. So at the end of the day, is it really, you know, some shady tactic? A little bit, but it's also a very common business practice.
One thing that I've seen that I did like was rewarding loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been in a couple of streams where, you know, every streaming service, Stream Elements, Streamlabs, Nightbot, all of these have like loyalty points, right? That outside of Twitch channel points, right? They have loyalty points that go in, right? I don't know what yours are called. Mine are called something. They might just be called points. I don't know. I didn't think I renamed them.
I think mine are through Streamlabs, yeah.
So we have these loyalty points that you have that people collect for X number of minutes of watch time. If they're a subscriber, they get more points, et cetera, et cetera. And I had somebody that every month they would just wash the slate for everybody's points. And then whoever got the most number of points that month would get $10 gift card or something like that. So you had no requirement to follow. You had no requirement to subscribe. You had no requirement to nothing. It was literally just be a member.
Be there.
Right? Just be engaging, be a member, and we'll find a way to donate or support you or thank you in some way, shape, or form, right? And that I think that's a pretty cool concept, right? As long as it's upfront, it's the same every month. People have an opportunity to start fresh every month, right? There's no monetary value involved. Like, I don't even have to follow you. I mean, yes, I'm giving you a viewer, but there needs to be some quid pro quo, right? To some extent,
you gotta...
right? I mean, that was one way that I saw that it worked, and it's interesting because when you talk about ethics, morality is subjective, right? Like what one person thinks is right isn't always the same person's perspective, right? So it's always tough to talk about topics like this and trying to decide what the best thing is. But again, giveaways and goals need to be relative to your content, relative to your community, supportive of your content, supportive of your community. They need to benefit your community, right? Like in general, right? It shouldn't be something that's just for the sole purpose of falsely growing your community, right? Like we've kind of talked about.
Yeah.
Try to make it as organic as possible, right?
Yeah. And the realistic thing to me is still really important. Again, set goals that are attainable. And the beauty with that is you can set them, they get hit, and then you know what? You make another goal. And
just stretch it.
More goals on a regular basis, and and that comes something that people join in for. Even if it's just something every 10 follows, subs, whatever you want to call it. But speaking of the loyalty, what I've seen too, I actually stopped by Nick Mercs' big like Christmas giveaway thing he does over the holidays, and whatever bot he was using to randomly draw names from the users in chat, it was cool because he could actually set it for length of subscriptions from people.
Gotcha.
So like those loyal to the channel who've been around for a while, for some of the bigger gifts, he was setting it where if you hadn't been subbed for at least 6 months, whatever it may be,
right,
you weren't able to get it, which is nice because obviously you had some people show up that day, use their Twitch Prime because they're there to try to get some free stuff. But he was still able to reward those that come and stick around. Because I think if I was a viewer for a channel and they start doing giveaways and I see a whole bunch of these new people getting some whole free stuff, and they're just showing up and they never come back, I'd be a little irked that like, hey man, I'm here all the time. Why am I not like, where's my prize? Not that you're owed anything for being there, but again, I think you're right.
You may not be owed, but at least at least put the odds in my favor.
Yeah. If you're going to use it as a tactic to try to draw in new people, I think you have to balance it out and use it as a tactic to reward those ones that have been there for you as well.
There you go. I think I could get behind that. I think I could get behind that idea. It's fine to, I wouldn't say fine, but it's okay, right? It's okay to use it to draw in additional impressions, but you need to find a way to make it supportive to those who have already been there before. I like that idea. I like that a lot. Yeah. I would be careful as to how long, right? Like you said, if it was like, everybody from 6 months to 24 months, right? Or like 6 to 12 months got into one category, 12 to 24 got into another. Because once you're there, once you have a viewer for 3-4 months, I don't think you're, really pushing for that kind of stuff anymore.
True. But yeah, I don't know, the giveaway thing for me, it's always something in the back of my head as far as, do I want to do it? How do I want to try to do it? And I don't know, I always end up scaring myself away from it. But again, it's a tactic to get eyes on, and we're talking about trying to get eyes on in any way, shape, or form. So
I have. I mean, I've
I'm
seen it.
not being real shady about it, right?
Well, and that's always been my thing is, you know me. It's, if I do it, I want to make sure it's done right. Right.
Yeah,
like if
exactly.
I do it, I want to make sure it's done right. And I want to make sure, not that I'm trying to say like offending people, like not like that, not that type of offense, but I don't want people to feel like they're excluded or not appreciated because I'm showing extra appreciation to people that have been here for less time or anything like that. Right. Like, again, I don't want somebody to come in and follow the day before and end up winning a prize. Like, to me, that would feel really crappy to my people that have been here for a year, right? Already. There'd almost have to be some way to take a bot and then say, like, if you, like, for every month you get an extra ticket or something, like almost like a raffle process where every month of viewership you get an extra ticket or something like that. So you have a higher opportunity the longer you've been a part of the channel or active in the channel, right? I don't know how you would draw that up, but it would be something incredible.
I wish we got like some stats and stuff or numbers on channel points as far as like maybe even just like a top 10 list for people that, have our channel points out there, how many they have. And
I'm really
stuff like that here and there.
I'm really waiting for Twitch to release that type of information and then running like some kind of, like, we got the thing at the end of 2020 that said, here's the total channel points that were spent or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't
crazy.
see anything. Like, we have no way to look at how much each person has right now. I make some of my stuff. I make some of my channel point redemptions, and I'm like, I'm always scared to make them too many points because I'm afraid nobody has that many, right? Like, I'm always thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's not going to work. We'll find out, And all the time people are like, you're way too cheap. You're way too expensive. You're way too whatever. And I'm like, make up your minds. Like,
I don't know how to gauge it. Like, Twitch has some weird smart value function, but I don't know what math's going into that.
I look at those numbers and they're way off. They're like,
I never understand it.
It's like 462. I'm like, why? Where did that number come from?
Some wild algorithm that it's trying to figure out. But you're right. No, it'd be nice because it would help us value our channel point things a lot better.
And I've always said in the past, I think they're getting there, right? They've introduced a prediction system, and things like that. Like, I've always said in the past that there needs to be a better way to do redemptions like that. Like, the Stream Elements and the Streamlabs bots have raffle systems, right? Like, if you wanted to do a giveaway off of raffles, then that would be a cool thing to do, right? And then people have the opportunity to spend points to get extra tickets, and then you have the opportunity to reward your loyal viewers because they're getting extra points, et cetera, right? So that could work. A system like that, I think, could work, and I think that could be good, but, I think Twitch hasn't gotten there yet. Channel points exist. I mean, there's people in my channel that have like 60,000 points, and they're like, what do I do with them? I'm like, I don't know what you do with them. Make me do a bunch of curls. That's all I can think of, right? Like, what else are you going to do with your points? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm working on it, I swear. But we have to remember too that channel points are still relatively new as far as the Twitch space exists. I mean, because what was it?
It's like
early
6 months.
2019?
No, they came out last year.
Is it? Okay, so even I know the pandemic stretch for me is a weird amount of time. I don't know if it's a week or a year. I don't know how long it's been, but I think you're right. Are you sure it wasn't late 2019? It was 2020? I don't know. But they're new. They're still relatively new. So they're figuring it out. They're adding stuff as they can.
I lied. It was October 2019. Gosh.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So
I don't know what I'm talking about.
You thought the pandemic was a week. 2020 didn't happen in your mind. But that's still, that's still not that long ago. A year and a half, or a year and 4 months, whatever that is.
Yep.
But they're adding stuff. So
they're trying to.
Because again, we've gotten the community challenge, we've gotten the predictions. So even that's 2 nice additions during that period of time. So, we'll probably see something again in a couple months.
Yep.
Fingers crossed, Twitch, if you're listening.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are rolling on 57 minutes. 58 minutes on the dot, as I mentioned this sentence. So we're going to go ahead and finish out this week. Thank you so much for everybody who listened in live. Thank you for all of those that join us on Spotify, iTunes, iTunes Casting. I'm not an Apple guy. Google Podcasts, Anchor, all the other locations, everybody that watches on the YouTubes and the Twitches and all the other locations that are there. So thank you so much, everybody. By the way, don't forget Discord for me and the Game Hopper. Please go check it out. There is a lot of great information in there. There's a lot of good times. There's a lot of funny memes. There's all kinds of stuff going on in the Discords that we have an opportunity to communicate with each and every one of you while we're not doing the podcast, while we're not streaming, and kind of keeps us all connected as a community. So please be sure to check that out. Any final comments, Hopper, before we sign out for the night?
I mean, just the good old usual Patreon shout-outs to Fractured Love Mike guy. Wonderful dude. I think you know him. But as always, guys, it's been a pleasure. I really enjoy doing these. It's crazy that it's been 9 months. I'm ready to do another 9 and see where things go. We love you.
Sounds good. We will see you guys next week. And on the YouTube side, now that I have stopped recording, really quick, Paz had a question while we were streaming there. How much did Nick Mercs give away?
In that stream itself, I think he gave away prizes in value somewhere around $250,000, but 150 of that was put up by Cash App, and
Gotcha.
it was like a give your Cash App handle, and they were sending everybody who put it in his chat $10 of Bitcoin.
Gotcha.
Which hey, no, that would have been at that time. You would have been worth $20. Not that long.
Yeah, exactly.
But a lot of it, too, was products and stuff from probably things he sponsored them. Not trying to belittle in any way. It's awesome what he did. I really think as far as a lot of the big streamers go, Nick Mercs is one of those ones that's really humbled by the people that have shown him support and helped him grow and put him where he is now. So it's just nice to see that, you know, he likes to try to give back any way he can, which is not always easy to do when things grow to that size. But he's doing something, and it's nice to see.
And apparently Linus owns Floatplane?
Yeah, that's his thing.
Okay.
Like they made it. Yeah. We'll have to look into it some more.
I don't know anything about it. Floatplane.
I just know I watched their WAN show, which is, you know, a podcast a lot like ours. And he always talks about Floatplane, so I looked it up one day. And it seems pretty cool, because I guess he has people watch them on that and stuff. So,
okay.
Video games? We're playing video games, Q?
Yes, we are going to be playing some video games, guys. For those of you that are currently watching on YouTube, you guys can, I'm in chat and can explain. Oh, I see you there. We are going to be transitioning over to, I am going to be transitioning over to twitch.tv/Qualizar, or you can go check out twitch.tv/TheGameHopper. As we get ready, we are going to be doing a little space raiding on No Man's Sky, killing some aliens and looting some freighters, I think is what the plan is tonight. Frigate freighters. So you guys can feel free to join us there. I'm going to sign out here. Thank you so much for watching on the YouTube side, guys. I appreciate you all very much. For those of you that are watching this post and you make it all the way through the hour through the video, you are real champions. If you make it through this entire podcast on YouTube in one sitting, I should say, I love you. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the support, everybody. We will check you all next week. I hope you all have a wonderful week until then. This is Chris, the Mic Guy, and Dusty, the Game Hopper, signing out.